Have you ever spent hours thinking about the life you want, only to realize nothing actually changed when the day ended? A lot of people dream about success, money, peace, or becoming someone important, but dreaming alone doesn't move your life forward. That's the hard truth. Today's story from Quiet Growth Lab is really about something deeper than laziness. It's about how easy it is to confuse imagination with progress. And honestly, a lot of us do it without even noticing. Theo wasn't weak. He wasn't sick. He wasn't unlucky either. He was young, healthy, strong enough to work like everyone else in the village. But the problem was, he never wanted to do anything hard. He loved the idea of becoming rich, but hated effort. So instead of building a better life, he spent most of his time sitting around, waiting for something good to happen to him. The people in the village felt sorry for him sometimes. That's how he survived. Not because he earned anything, but because other people kept helping him. And honestly, that's what made his situation even sadder. Deep down, Theo had the ability to change his life. He just never pushed himself to start. A lot of people are like that in real life too. They want results fast. They want success immediately. But they avoid the uncomfortable part, the work, the patience, the repetition. And over time, they slowly lose motivation without even realizing it. One day, Theo got a pot of fresh milk from a wealthy merchant giving food to poor villagers. It wasn't much, but it was still an opportunity. After breakfast, instead of helping his father or doing something useful, Theo laid down beside the milk and started daydreaming. And little by little, his imagination got bigger and bigger. First, he imagined turning the milk into cheese, then selling it for money, then buying chickens, then owning a farm, then becoming rich, then marrying into a wealthy family. In his mind, his whole future was already built. The crazy part is, he felt successful without doing a single thing. And honestly, that happens to people all the time. Some people spend years talking about the business they'll start, the body they'll build, the life they'll create, but they never take the first real step. They fall in love with the fantasy instead of the process. Theo's eyes were full of ambition, but his body never moved. That image says everything. Big dreams are not the problem. The real problem is when dreaming becomes a replacement for action. Because at the end of the day, success is usually built through small, boring steps nobody wants to take at first. Then came the moment that changed everything. While Theo was still lost in his fantasy, he imagined himself yelling at his future son for being lazy. In his mind, he grabbed a stick to teach the boy a lesson, but when he swung it, he accidentally smashed the pot of milk sitting beside him. Just like that, the milk spilled all over the floor, gone in seconds. And honestly, that scene hits harder than people think, because the milk was the only real thing Theo actually had. Everything else existed only in his imagination. He stood there frozen, staring at the mess in silence. No anger, no excuses, just that painful moment when reality finally breaks through the fantasy. And that's how life works sometimes. People lose real opportunities because they spend too much time living in their heads instead of taking action. Success usually doesn't disappear because someone lacks talent. Most of the time, it disappears because they never learned discipline. One careless moment destroyed the only thing Theo truly owned. The saddest part of the story is what happened next. The next morning, Theo went right back to wandering around the village looking for charity again. Nothing changed. His life stayed the same because he stayed the same. And honestly, that's the part most people don't want to hear. A dream means nothing without action behind it. Everybody wants a better life. But wanting something and working for it are two completely different things. If you want success, you have to work. If you want change, you need discipline. If you want a different future, your daily habits have to change first. A lot of people blame bad luck, their past, or their situation. But in reality, procrastination quietly destroys more lives than failure ever does. Small habits repeated every day shape your future little by little. That's why some people slowly build strong lives while others stay stuck for years. The difference usually comes down to action. Your actions have to match your dreams. Otherwise, they're just wishes. At the end of the day, success rarely comes from luck. Most people who change their lives start small, really small. One better habit, one hard decision, one step they kept repeating every day even when they didn't feel motivated. That's the part people overlook. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline is what keeps moving your life forward. So don't spend your whole life stuck in imagination like Theo did. Start with something real today. Finish one important task. Put your energy into action instead of endless thinking. Small, consistent effort may not look exciting at first, but over time, it changes everything. And honestly, maybe your life isn't where you want it to be right now. That's okay. What matters is what you decide to do next. Because a few years from now, your life could look completely different if you finally start moving today.